Hello there, my name is Anna Lundberg and I'm the founder of One Step Outside, where we help people around the world create a business and build a lifestyle that brings them more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment. And we've been talking about all things personal branding these last few weeks, why it's important, how you can find the story that you want to tell, and how you can get comfortable with the whole idea of personal branding and selling essentially yourself. So of course, now you want to get started actually building your personal brand. Well, hold your horses, not quite yet. This week we want to look at how you can do a bit of an audit to assess where your brand is today, and then that will help you identify opportunities to really optimize and craft the story that you want to tell in the right direction. Now remember, this is not about lying or faking anything. This is about presenting a genuine image of who you are and what's important to you. It's just about making sure that you really are projecting your best self. Now, in terms of an audit, it all sounds very serious and complicated, but don't worry, it's really just checking in on where you are, and we're focusing on online this week. So the first thing to do is to Google yourself. Yes, I'm officially giving you permission to have a Google. So have a look at what comes up when you search for your name, your business. Do you appear in the results at all? Are you in the first couple of results on the first page? Bear in mind that most people are not going to scroll down to the bottom of the page, or certainly not go onto the other pages. And if you are appearing, what image is being projected there? So what are the platforms that are coming up? Probably it's going to be your Facebook page, your LinkedIn and so on, maybe your website if you have been in business for a while, but likely it's going to be those bigger platforms. So are those the links that you actually want to be appearing? Do you want people who are searching you professionally to come across your personal Facebook profile as a first step? Don't just look at the text links, look at the images, maybe even videos as well to see the kind of pictures that are coming up. So that's the first one, just look at Google. Now, secondly, we can double click, and of course, social media is a massive piece. And you can have a look at the different channels that you're on. Specifically, I want to consider Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Those are really three of the main channels, of course. Now, Facebook, again, you may be moving away from it. Some people are that we know are moving away from Facebook, but it is still a massive platform that most of us are very present on. And even if you're not now, then you have been in the past. So have a look at your privacy settings, have a look at the photos that are appearing, the messages you've been posting over the years, maybe complaining about an annoying boss or talking about some party or whatever it is, and make sure that that's projecting the image you want to project again, and make sure that's appropriate for people who'll find that profile. Now, of course, if you have a business, you need to have a business profile. So one choice is to keep the personal page completely separate and then create that business page for your personal brand. So that's Facebook. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very important platform, of course, professionally. It is the biggest professional platform. So make sure your profile is up to date. Make sure, again, it is projecting the image, the messages, the value that you want to bring, and make sure that it is, of course, professional. Now, LinkedIn can be a bit of a challenge, especially if you're maybe in between two roles. You have your full-time job while you're building a side hustle. You haven't yet declared to the world that you're going to be running this new business. So that's a whole other training in itself. But in the meantime, at least make sure it's up to date. It's projecting a professional image and the message that you want to share while you're working on building that business. Don't leave a job title from 5 years ago, and don't keep it completely bare, because it just doesn't come across particularly strongly when you're trying to approach clients and communicate your credibility and authority. And then Instagram, again, a very important platform now in business for most of us in business. It does give more of an opportunity to add more personality and fun, but it still needs to be balanced with that professional touch. So again, looking at Instagram, the images you're sharing and so on, if your profile is not personal, not private, are those the images you want to be sharing? Is that the story you want to tell? Is there the right balance between personal and professional? So of course, if there are other channels appearing for you, then do also review those. Make sure they're projecting the story that you want to tell. And of course, if you missed that one, then go back a couple of weeks, have a look at the video, the blog post around how you can find your story. And then the final piece is your website. So as much as you can build a business these days on social media, in real life even, my goodness, your website still remains the one place that you own in the online space, the one place where you can really share your story in all its glory. So have a think and have a look at a few of the different elements of your website. First of all, landing on your homepage, what is the overall impression, the big message that comes through, is that message clear, and is there a very specific next step or call to action you want people to take? You can always ask some people who aren't so familiar with your work just to get a bit of an objective perspective on that. Another piece, the about page. Now this used to be the most boring part of a corporate website, but as a personal brand, as a smaller business, this really is the core of your mission, your values, your skills, your strengths, your credibility. So is your about page really telling the story that you've now crafted, bringing to life all those wonderful things about your experiences, the things you believe in, and the results you can help your clients get? And finally, leading on from the about page, you'll have some kind of services or work with me page. So again, is that one bringing to life the skills and strengths that you're bringing to the business? Any credibility, testimonials, examples of your work? And is that really communicating the end result that you can help your clients with? So I've gone through that quite quickly, but really, of course, you can go back and check in on the different pieces again, listen again. We talked about Googling yourself, checking on your different social channels, and then finally looking at your website and specifically the overall impression plus the about page and services page being really key. Now, if this is all overwhelming, don't worry, we'll be digging into this more during the week and in the coming weeks as we look at the kind of content you can be creating and how to distribute that. But if you're thinking, you know what, I don't even want to think about this myself, I need someone else to help me, but I do recognise this is important, I want to get started now, then I have good news for you, because I can help you craft your about page, craft this story that you want to tell and bring that to life across your different social channels. So for a start, you can have a look at onestepoutside.com/myaboutpage, onestepoutside.com/myaboutpage, and you'll discover more there. Or of course, you can send me a private message and we can talk about what you'd like to focus on and how I might be able to help you. So I hope that was useful in terms of auditing your online personal brand as it stands now. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with as you go forth and tell your story. Bye for now.